السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث السفراء الأكرمين، والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا وشفيعنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله الحكيم في الذكر الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ألم تر كيف ضرب الله مثلا كلمة طيبة كشجرة طيبة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس لعلهم يتذكرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. عطروا أفواهكم بذكر الصلوات على النبي وآله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. First of all, I'm thankful to the executive board for inviting me to this beautiful and fragrant gathering. Secondly, congratulations to all of you on this auspicious occasion. But I'd like to extend congratulations to two individuals specifically. Lady Fatima alayhi salatu wasalam for having a second Fatima. As Zainab salawatullahi wa salamu alayha is called Thani Zahra. And to Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, as he found a partner in Karbala. As historians say, أحسنتم الإسلام محمدي الوجود والحدوث وحسيني البقاء والخلود. Without Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Islam wouldn't be delivered to us. But without Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, Islam wouldn't be saved. In the same way, we can say, without Imam Hussein, Karbala wouldn't take place. But without Zainab salawatullahi wa salamu alayha, the message of Karbala wouldn't be preserved. So this is the importance of Lady Zainab salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allah Azza wa Jal says in these two verses that I just recited in front of you, haven't you pondered how Allah Azza wa Jal has given the example of the blessed tree? مثلا كلمة طيبة. How Allah Azza wa Jal has given example for His religion as the blessed tree. أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء. This blessed tree, its roots are fixed in earth and its branches are widely high in the skies. تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها. This blessed tree produces its fruits all the times. And indeed, one of the best example of this blessed tree is Lady Zainab salawatullahi wa salamu alayha. If you look at Lady Zainab salawatullahi wa salamu alayha, asluha thabit. She's not from an ordinary family. She's from a very, very prestigious, in fact, the best family that you can ever imagine. Far'uha fi sama. The name, the mission, the contributions, they're everywhere. As she herself addressed Yazid al-Khabith by challenging him. Ya Yazid, Wallah, la tamhu dhikrana wa la tumitu wahyana. O Yazid, do whatever you want to do. Sa'ayak, kid kaidak. Utilize all your propaganda machine. Do all the sinister thing that you can do. But remember, you won't be able to extinguish the light of Allah Azza wa Jal. You won't be able to eliminate our name. You won't be able to remove our religion. So that was the challenge of Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha. And as Allah says, فَرْعُهَا فِي السَّمَاءِ. The fruits of that tree or the branches of that tree are everywhere. تُؤْتِي أُكُلَهَا كُلَّ حِينٍ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهَا. This blessed tree is not bound by time and season. It produces its fruits all the times. So Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha, it was not the case that she was born in 5th year after Hijrah and she passed away in 61 after Hijrah. No. Zainab was not bound by a time. Zainab is limitless. Zainab is endless because she is connected to Allah Azza wa Jal, whose characteristic is kullu man alayha fan wa yabqa wajhu rabbika dhul jalali wal ikram. Like Allah Azza wa Jal is al-Baqi. Those who are awliyaullah, those who lived for Allah, those who died for Allah, their names and their works also will remain and will be shining on the skies, on the forehead of the world. So this is Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha's example. Here in this brief discussion, I'd like to mention a few important points from the gracious life of Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha. She is called Al-Aqila, Aqilatu Bani Hashim. The importance of aql in Islam is so high that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to say, La deena liman la aqla lahu. If you see a person who doesn't reflect, doesn't ponder, or doesn't act according to his wisdom, that individual doesn't have to do anything with Islam. Because if a person doesn't utilize his aql, it doesn't matter how religious that individual is, how dedicated that individual is, he would be nothing but a shame for Islam. Just open your eyes and see the Dawa'ish, Taliban, Boko Haram, all these extremist and terrorist groups. There is no shortage of dedication from their side. But as they don't utilize their intellect, they are defaming Islam. Allah Azza wa Jal, talking about those people who will end up in hellfire, He says in Surah Al-Mulk, angels will approach them and ask them a simple question. Alam ya'tikum nadhir? What happened? Why did you end up in hellfire? Allah didn't create you for hellfire. Allah Azza wa Jal created you for paradise. You were not supposed to come to this miserable place. You were supposed to go to that beautiful place, paradise. Allah Azza wa Jal didn't create me, you, or anybody to suffer in this world, to be tortured in this world, or to go to hellfire. Yes, there are some sufferings, there are some pains. They are the means of our improvement. Allah Azza wa Jal has put these tests, these exams in our lives so we can grow. When there is an exam is not to in fact create problems for us. Exam is to raise our status high. You are in grade 5, you want to in grade 6, there will be an exam. You are at college, you want to find your entrance at the university. There should be an exam, there will be an exam. And examples in this world, their example is exams, the example of the exams of this world is like grooves at the sides of the road. When you drive on highway, sometimes your car goes a little bit this way and that way, and you hear a buzzing sound, zzz, like that. So what is that? They've made those grooves, so when your car is going off the road, you are alerted. So in the same way, Allah Azza wa Jal has put some hardships, some challenges in our lives, so we are alerted. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَضَّرَّعُونَ Allah Azza wa Jal has put these tribulations, these tests, these miseries, these hardships in our lives just to alert us. Find your way. Come back to your senses. Don't fall asleep. Don't be taken away by the luxuries of this world. Don't race to accumulate the temporal blessings of this world at the cost of leaving Allah Azza wa Jal behind, at the cost of destroying your akhirah. So tests are a part of our life. However, Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't want us to suffer. Allah Azza wa Jal wants us to grow. Allah wants us to improve. A person came to Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala This is a very beautiful point. And he says, Hasan al-Basri, the famous mystic, and there are a lot of people who consider him their hero, their role model, because they haven't seen Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wasalam's beauty. He says, Hasan al-Basri says, لَيْسَ الْعَجَبْ مَنْ هَلَكْ كَيْفَ هَلَكْ إِنَّمَا الْعَجَبْ مَنْ نَجَى كَيْفَ نَجَى. If a person gets lost in this world, gets captivated in this world, and as a result loses his akhirah, there is no surprise, because this is the nature of this world. However, if a person becomes prosperous on the day of judgment and enters paradise, that is a point of surprise. How that person overcame all the challenges of this world and found his way to paradise. When Imam Al-Sajjad, Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam, heard this sentence from Hasan al-Basri, Imam said, no, this is absolutely unacceptable. We Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wasalam say, لَيْسَ الْعَجَبْ مَنْ نَجَى كَيْفَ نَجَى بَلِ الْعَجَبْ مَنْ هَلَكْ كَيْفَ هَلَكْ مَعَ سِعَةِ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. Allah Azza wa Jal, yes, there are tests, tribulations. However, Allah Azza wa Jal has given us so much chance, so many chances, so much opportunities, so much blessings. First of all, Allah Azza wa Jal has given us intellect. Our intellect, aql. What is the literal meaning of aql? Something which controls you. Something which holds you, keeps you in the boundaries of Allah Azza wa Jal. Doesn't let you cross the boundaries and limits. Secondly, Allah Azza wa Jal sent 124,000 prophets. Then Allah Azza wa Jal sent 14 ma'asumin alayhimu salatu wasalam. Allah Azza wa Jal opened the gateways of Tawbah. Still you make mistake? No worries. Come back to me. I'll accept your Tawbah. You will be pardoned. And then the problems and sufferings of this world, they also wash out our sins. So, if someone ends up in hellfire, that is a point of surprise. However, if someone finds his way to paradise, that's where he was destined for. So angels will ask the people of hellfire, Alam ya'tikum nazir, ma salakakum fi saqar. There are several examples in Quran. There is no example in Quran where angels will go and ask the people of paradise, how did you end up here? They were supposed to be ending up here. We all are supposed to be ending in paradise. Just imagine, stealing is more difficult or not stealing? Lying is more difficult or not lying? Killing somebody is more difficult or not killing? Of course, if someone wants to steal, if someone wants to kill, he will have to do a lot of plannings, a lot of work, because that is against our nature, against our fitrah. But if someone doesn't want to steal, it is way easier. If someone doesn't want to lie, that is way easier. If someone doesn't want to kill anybody, that is way easier. So if we follow our fitrah, if we follow our intellect, if we follow the command of Allah, the beauty of Islam is it is absolutely in line with our nature, in line with our fitrah, in line with our intellect. So when angels will ask the people of hellfire, why did you end up here? They would say, لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. We ended up here because we didn't listen to the inner voice. We didn't listen to the outer voice. Came from prophets, came from those people who invited us towards Allah Azza wa Jal. And we didn't reflect, we didn't ponder, we didn't utilize our aql. So this is Lady Zainab salawatullah salamu alayha al-aqila. She was al-aqila, the source of wisdom, the source of intellect. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Aqalun nas. What is the sign of an intelligent person, a wise person? Rasulullah says, Aqalun nas man arafa. There are 4 signs for the most intelligent person, for the wisest person. Man arafa rabbahu fa'ata'ah. The one who recognizes his Lord and obeys him. We recognize everything. We recognize everybody. We know about phones, we know about cars, we know about actors, we know about pillars, we know about everyone. Doesn't Allah Azza wa Jal deserve to be recognized by us? We spent 20 years to become a doctor, to become an engineer, to become a successful businessman. We spend 20 years, 30 years to understand the books written by human beings like us. How much time do we spend to understand the book of Allah Azza wa Jal? We spend for our children hours and hours, not hours and hours, years upon years to make them successful, to make them find a good job in a good firm. Do we think, or can we think, can we imagine that the company of Imam Ali or the firm of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam is so trivial that every person wakes up from his sleep, goes and registers himself and finds a job in their governance system? To find a job in this world, we need to spend 20 years, 30 years. So how can we find a job in the governance of Allah Azza wa Jal, in the firm of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wasalam, in the organization of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, establishment of Imam al-Asr wa Zaman without working hard? Allahumma salli ala Zainab salawatullah salamu alayha is al-aqila, aqilatu bani Hashim. Let me cite an example. She was sitting in the lap of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam when she was just a child. She asked Imam Ali a very common question. Ya abatah atuhibbuna. Oh father, do you love us? Imam Ali replied, وَكَيْفَ لَا أُحِبُّكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ ثَمَرَةُ فُوَادِي. How I cannot love you? My children, you are the fruits of my heart. Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha replied by saying this beautiful sentence. Ya abatah, inna al-hubba lillahi ta'ala wa shafaqata lana. Oh my beloved father, isn't it the case that love truly belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal? We need to be muwahhid even in love. Any other love which comes in the parallel of the love of Allah Azza wa Jal, that is shirk. All the loves which come in line with the love of Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah's love is there, then Muhammad and Ali Muhammad's love, then our parents' love, then our children's love, then our friends' love. If the love is in line with the love of Allah Azza wa Jal, that is Tawheed. But if our love is in parallel with the love of Allah Azza wa Jal, then that is shirk. This is a great and powerful lesson that Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha has shared with the world. وَالشَّفَقَةَ لَنَا. Oh my father, love belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal. Kindness, compassion comes to us. This is Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha. What is the meaning of the word Zainab? According to Arabic dictionary, Zainab literally means a fragrant plant, a beautiful and fragrant plant. So Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha was ism ma'al musamma. She was really beautiful and a fragrant tree of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wasalam. Not only that, but she was a shining star. If you look at the gracious life of Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha, you will find her example in all the applications of our life, in all the areas of our lives, in all the spheres of our lives. For example, when it comes to hijab, Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha is a great example. Hijab, there are different perspectives about hijab. Generally, it is perceived that hijab is restriction for women. No. Hijab is not a restriction for a woman. Hijab is the best protection for a woman. Hijab literally means protection. Our eyebrows are called hajib. Why? Because they protect our eyes against sun, heat, sweat. So hijab means protection. Just imagine, there are a bunch of hooligans waiting around the corner for their prey. And two girls of the same beauty, same height, same weight, same age, pass by them. One is dressed in Western clothing, mini skirt, mini. And the other one is fully dressed according to Islamic Sharia, hijab. Which one will be attacked by them? Just imagine. So that is the philosophy of hijab. Hijab is to protect our women. In Western world, they say, oh no, there should be equality, gender equality. Okay. Who says there shouldn't be gender equality? Women need to wear like men. They dress up like men. They work like men. They walk like men. They talk like men. That is equality. Are you kidding with me? Is that equality? First of all, when you say women should be equal to men, even in this slogan of equality, there is an immense there is an immense inferiority complex. If I want to become, for example, equal to you, whatever I do, I study, I work, I earn money, my whole purpose is to become equal to you. What does it mean? It means I'm considering you higher than me. That's why I'm trying to become equal to you. Islam doesn't say women should race to become equal to men. Women have their position, men have their position. All have their dignity before Allah Azza wa Jal. No one is inferior. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة. Whosoever does good deed, whether that person is male or female, will reward them equally. Virtues and qualities belong to our soul. Our soul is gender free. There is no gender for our soul. Gender is specifically for our bodies. Allah Azza wa Jal has given gender to our body so we can live in this world, our generation can continue. Other than that, our soul, which is the main motor, which is the main source of virtues, that is gender free. إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات. Read those 10 greatest virtues. Allah Azza wa Jal has put men and women side by side. So there is already inherent equality in Islam. There is no need for women to try to become equal to men. That is in itself inferiority complex. Lady Zainab salawatullah salamu alayha, isn't it a great example of the capacity of a woman? Isn't she a role model for millions of men? I'm not talking about women. Hasn't she inspired generations upon generations? From Karbala till today, in those 14 centuries, if you find 2 women who've been most influential for our sisters, for our brothers, for the whole community, you will find the second name Zainab. The first name will appear as Fatima, and the second name will come in front of you as Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salam. And at the same time, definitely she was most modest woman in her hijab, in her interaction. Hijab is not limited to covering the body. Hijab is a style of life where modesty is maintained. But at the same time, she was alimatun ghayru muallama, fahimatun ghayru mufahhama. So it means there is no contradiction that a woman can have only one, whether hijab or knowledge, hijab or education. No. Alhamdulillah, in Western world, nowadays we can see that our sisters who observe hijab, they are best doctors, even engineers. I have several examples in Calgary. Our girls, those who observe hijab, proper hijab, they are doing excellent in engineering. And we have sisters who are born in Canada. Many sisters, not 1 or 2. They observe proper hijab without any fear. Since they are 6-year-old, they start observing hijab and they keep observing hijab throughout their whole studies. They are doctors, they are engineers. So this is the example of Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamuhu alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And another title of Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamuhu alayha is Ummul Masaib. She was the mother of Masaib. And when we look at this world, unfortunately, this world is full of problems, full of issues, full of sufferings. What is the solution? How can we overcome these sufferings and these challenges? Two words. One we take from Imam Hussein, and the other one we take from Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha. Azm of Hussein and sabr of Zainab. If we want to succeed in this world, we need to take one word from Imam Hussein, and that is his determination. And one word from Lady Zainab salawatullah wa sallam, that is her patience. You study the whole human history, you will not find any woman who's gone through tests, tribulations, sufferings like Lady Zainab salawatullah wa sallam alayha. And at the same time, you will not find any lady who have come out victorious of her challenges, of her tests and sufferings and pains like Lady Zainab salawatullah wa sallam alayha. How she managed to do that? Abidatu Ali. This is another title. Worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. Being connected to Allah. Being dedicated to Allah. She is the lady who spent the night of 11th Muharram, Sham Ghariba, in sajda. And this is something that you all can try when you feel a little bit suppressed or stressed or tensed, and there is nothing which can help you. There is always one thing which for sure will help you. Put your forehead in sajda. Do a prolonged sajda, long sajda. Talk to Allah Azza wa Jal. Converse to Allah in your own language, in English, in Arabic, in Urdu, in whatsoever language. Just do a long sajda for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Talk to Allah Azza wa Jal. You will see the result immediately. You will find serenity, calmness, inner peace within yourself. This is the power of sajda. Abidatu Ali. She never gave up with tahajjud, salatul layl, even in that horrendous journey from Karbala to Kufa, from Kufa to Damascus. So when Lady Zainab was prostrating before Allah Azza wa Jal, offering salatul layl or Imam Sajjad, they were not just worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal, they were re-energizing themselves. That is the food for our soul when we connect ourselves with Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is something utmost beautiful that we can take from Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wasalam. Imam Hussein, when we read about Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, we find that as much as sufferings intensified in Karbala, Imam Hussein's inner peace and serenity grew up and up. To the extent, when Imam Hussein was lying on the plains of Karbala, and Umar bin Sa'ad sent a person to finish off the job, sever the head of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. He says, when I approached Imam Hussein, this is the sentence that the killer of Imam Hussein, who was sent to kill Imam Hussein, he makes this comment and this remark about Imam Hussein. لَقَدْ شَغَلَنِي نُورُ وَجْهِهِ عَنِ الْفِكْرَةِ فِي قَتْلِهِ. When I looked at the face of Imam Hussein, it was so glowing, so beautiful, so bright, that I forgot for what purpose I was sent to. He was just glued to the face of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The beauty was so immense, the light was so high that he couldn't control himself. He forgot for what purpose he came. This is what happens when we connect ourselves with Allah Azza wa Jal. Let me conclude by mentioning a great example from history. Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha is Zahidatu Ali. The symbol of Zuhud. Zuhud, Imam Ali says, تمام الزهد بين كلمتين من القرآن العظيم لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم. and seeking the inspirations from the words of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, Urafa, scholars say, Zuhud is in three letters, Zahadal. Za represents zina. If you want to reach the level of Zuhud, you'll have to live a simple life. You shouldn't be focused on the pompous and luxurious life of this world. And Ha represents Hawa, nafs, desires. And Dal represents dunya. This is the nature of this dunya. Dunya means lowly. Those people who are glued to this world, naturally, this world will take them lower and lower. Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha was truly Zahidatu Ali Ali. She had two sons, sacrificed both for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Brothers, sacrificed for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Nephews, sacrificed for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Her own hijab, her own dignity. Lady Zainab, being such a great individual, dragged, literally dragged, here and there from this place to that place. But she was shakiratun lillahi azza wa jal. This is Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha. And she is indeed a great example for all of us. Ad-dunya taghur tadur tamur. This is the nature of this world. This world deceives, harms, and moves swiftly. تمام الزهد بين كلمتين من القرآن العظيم. Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, he was traveling with a man. And unfortunately that man was very greedy. Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wasalam sent that man to go to a village and get 3 breads. He brought 3 breads. Hazrat Isa was worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. He was doing salah. And that person was sitting, he was hungry, so he ate 1 bread. When Isa finished the salah, asked this person, how many breads did you purchase? I asked you to purchase 3. He said, no, I just purchased 2. So that was a test for him. Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, then he continued his journey. And during the journey, they got hungry. They were in a desert. They spotted a flock of deers. Isa alayhi salatu wasalam called one of them. He came running towards Isa alayhi salam. Isa alayhi salam slaughtered that antelope or that deer. And they made kebab or whatsoever and they ate. And then Isa alayhi salatu wasalam ordered that deer to stand and run away. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that rose from his remains and started running away. This person was startled, shocked. Ya Nabi Allah, you have such great miraculous power. At that point, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam asked, could you please tell me how many breads really you purchased? He said, only 2. Only 2. Then they continued their journey. This is what this world does. The obsession, the love of this world. This world is not bad. The love and obsession of this world. Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam spotted 3 bricks of gold, 3 golden bricks. That person was really attached to those bricks and he said, Ya Nabi Allah, 1.5 yours, 1.5 mine. Isa alayhi salam said, no. 1 brick for me, 1 brick for you, and the other brick is for the person who ate the 3rd bread. Who was that? Ya Nabi Allah, it was me. It was me. Isa alayhi salatu wasalam gave him all 3 bricks. Take them. But don't accompany me anymore. I don't want to accompany with a greedy person like you. He was very happy. Oh, I've got 3 bricks of gold. Just imagine, a greedy person with 3 bricks of gold. He was just planning for those 3 bricks. How was he going to sell? How was he going to make a castle? How was he going to have a luxurious life? He was just daydreaming. All of a sudden, 3 robbers appeared from somewhere. They saw a lonely person with 3 bricks of gold. Immediately they finished him off. There were 3. So they were very happy. They found 3 bricks of gold. But after some traveling, they got hungry. So they asked one person to go to a village and purchase some bread, some food for them. And while he was there, these 2 decided that when he comes, we'll attack and kill him. And while he was there, he planned, why not poison the food? So these 2 died, and all 3 bricks of gold will come to me. So they acted upon their plottings. And as a result, when Isa ﷺ returned, he found 4 people dead with those 3 bricks of gold. At that point, Isa ﷺ, هَكَذَا تَفْعَلُ الدُّنْيَا بِمُحِبِّهَا. This is how the world does with its lovers, And that's why Imam Ali ﷺ used to say, Ya dunya ghurri ghairi. Go and deceive someone else. طَلَّقْتُكِ ثَلَاثًا طَلَّقْتُكِ ثَلَاثًا لَا رَجْعَةَ بَعْدَ. I've given you 3 divorces, after which there is no way of returning. So this is called proper zuhd. And Zainab ﷺ was indeed an example of zuhd. And she was absolutely humble before Allah Azza wa Jal, before the servants of Allah Azza wa Jal. As my dear brother before mentioned, that she was a great educator, alimatun ghayru muallama. One time she was teaching Quran to the women of Kufa. Imam Ali passed by and she was doing the tafsir of Surah Maryam. Imam Ali asked her, oh my dear Zainab, do you know what is the tafsir of Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad? She says, Ya Abata, you know better than me. Imam Ali says, Kaf represents Karbala. Ha represents Halakul Itra. Ya represents Yazid. Ain represents Atash. And Sad represents Sabrul Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. We pray to Allah Azza wa Jal that for the sake of Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha, for the sake of her father, her grandfather, her brothers and her whole family, may Allah Azza wa Jal illuminate our souls. May Allah Azza wa Jal allow us all to be able to follow the beautiful examples and most important footprints of Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha, and we are able to live by the example set by Lady Zainab, Lady Fatima, and other great ladies of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wa salam. Salamun alayha yawma wulidat wa yawma ustushhidat wa yawma tub'athu hayya. May Allah Azza wa Jal allow all of us to be able to assist the Imam of our time, like Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha assisted the Imam of our time. And may Allah Azza wa Jal allow all of us to be able to serve as the carrier of the religion of Islam, the message of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wa salam, like Lady Zainab salawatullah wa salamu alayha did after Karbala. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.